What's up, guys? It's Brandon Flash. Today we're here with my 2022 Rivian R1T, and let's talk accessory. If you've been subscribed or watching for a while, you know that about 6 months ago in November, I actually put out a video talking about all the different accessories that I like for my Rivian R1T. And turns out you guys were pretty interested in that. So I've decided to shoot a little bit of an update here. I've discovered some new accessories. I'll cover some of the existing accessories that I still think are quite good. This is basically just a May 2023 edition of my Rivian accessories guide and things you should get if you're getting a Rivian, if you already have a Rivian, if you're looking for a gift idea for a Rivian owner in your life. So without further ado, let's just kind of do a walk around of my truck and I'll talk about some of these accessories that I have, what they do, why you should have them, and also where you can get them. And of course, this is YouTube after all, so down below in the description, I do have links to all the different products that I'm showing. Some of them are affiliate links, which help out the channel, so greatly appreciate if you're finding the products through this video. If you would buy them through those links, it does help out the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra. And some of them actually have discount codes that are exclusive to me and give you better pricing than you would get otherwise. So again, definitely, if you can, check out the links down below. Helps out the channel. And let's walk through some of these things. So we're starting up here at the front trunk. Nothing too crazy up here, but we do have a couple accessories that I'd like to showcase. So these are some carabiner magnets. So these are the magnets for when you fold the front trunk subfloor up so that it stays. But unfortunately, from the factory, there's not really a great way to secure anything up here in this front trunk, especially if you're only using part of it. So things will slide around quite a bit. So I added these carabiners. They're literally just magnets. I think they're about $8, something like that. Really nice and cheap for a 4-pack. And they are super secure. You have to really give it a lot of force, but perfect for a bungee cord or grocery bags or whatever the case may be. Here we also have the 3D Mats front trunk liner. So I like that. Makes it a little bit easier to clean than the carpet or the kind of like plush felt-ish liner of the front trunk floor. And here we have an Instacrate from Costco. Not the easiest thing to do with one hand here, but just a little foldable crate. So if I have little stuff or whatever, I can just put in there. Easier to bring stuff into my apartment. And then just some random stuff. Not really relevant, but I'm doing a beach trip soon, so that's why I have a blanket up there. But pretty basic stuff up in the front trunk. Also worth mentioning, I have upgraded the lights. So even though it's bright daytime today, at night it makes the front trunk a lot more illuminated. These are from Abstract Ocean. I'll include a link down below for those. I also have those in the gear tunnel too. So gear tunnel and front trunk, much better illumination with the Abstract Ocean upgraded LEDs. And now into the cabin of the truck, kind of the driver's seat, some of the things that are more driver centric. Here we have an extra cup holder. So this is from Rivi Parts. So you can have it tucked in when it's out of the way or on a road trip. If you just have an extra cup or something. Since there aren't that many cup holders, just makes it a little bit easier. You can have something there. So good option if you have water, coffee, whatever, stuff like that. Here we have the 3D mats on the interior. So I have these in all of the positions. I actually made a whole video talking about floor mats, comparing the factory Chilowich floor mats, the Rivian all-weather mats, and these 3D mats. So big fan of these. I do have a discount code and an affiliate link down below. So definitely, if you're interested, check that out. Here we have my iPad mini mount. So this is actually intended as a phone mount, but I put this mount on here to put my iPad mini. That way I can use it with CAN server and with Teslax to monitor CAN bus data, things like that. So nerd things. Over here we have another Rivi Parts phone mount. And this has a Spigen MagSafe magnet mount. So it actually charges iPhones and is a holder. And that's being powered down here by just a 12 volt to USB-C. And then also my CAN servers underneath the passenger side dash. So that's how that's done and how that's powered. And here we have a little bit of an organizer for this space that's otherwise kind of just a rolly area, but you can see as I move some stuff here that it's nice and organized and doesn't move around as much. So definitely recommend that. Link in the description for that. Here we have another organizer because the Otherwise, the console here is a bit of a black hole. Not that it isn't anyway, but you can kind of see that this sits on top. So I'll show you that in just a second. But also with the recent addition of drive camera, I think they call it, basically the built-in dash cam that records while you're driving, I added a Samsung T5 SSD. I believe the T5 series is discontinued at this point, but I'll link the T7, which replaced it. I already had this one, so I didn't see a need to buy another one. And if you'll notice, I have a free USB-C port down here because I actually replaced the wireless charging pad. Let me just put this in place. Usually I don't take that out very often, so no big deal. So I removed the wireless charging pad that lives under here, and it actually just gets replaced with a metal plate, and then an adapter for the 12-volt plug that the wireless charger normally uses, and it gives you two USB-C and two USB-A outputs that are 30 watts. So very useful. I added a little MagSafe pad there. I like to use that mostly for my AirPods Pro if I'm driving, or if I use them quite a bit, charge them up. Or it's just good for passengers, whatever. But that way I have the data USB-C port for the for the SSD, and I also have a free USB-C port if a passenger or whatever wants to plug something in, because this is not the easiest to plug things into. You can see the metal plate down there. Maybe not the prettiest thing, but you generally don't see this anyway, so it's no big deal. That shuts just like that. Here we have the screen protectors that I've shown before. So these are from T-Wraps, just nice matte on both the instrument cluster, the touch screen, and the rear climate control there. So very nice in my opinion. Hardly any fingerprints. You do still get dust, but you'd get that either way. Here we have my Uniden R7 radar detector. The screen does not look like how it looks in the video in real life. Just nice and constant. Shows my elevation constantly and has saved me from many tickets. So definitely appreciate that. And continuing to the outside of the truck, we'll shut these doors here so you can see it. I do have some running boards on here. These are from a company called EV Base. Made a whole video about them. Overall, they're cheap and they are quality accordingly. But if you're just looking for basic running boards, they're pretty decent. But if you're looking for rock sliders or more durable, better looking running boards, I'd probably go with the Electrek 4x4 megawatt rock sliders. Those are probably my preferred option. But here we have the gear tunnel and also the back seat. And these bins, I just actually bought them pretty recently at Costco, and they happen to fit pretty much perfectly, not only in this under seat, but you can actually stack them 3 high. You do have to slide them a little bit, but it works in the gear tunnel. So I have some bins of random stuff. I made a video talking about how I organize my truck. If you're interested, definitely check that out, but nothing really of note with those bins. They're just some bins from Costco. Here we have a T-Wraps piece for this lower sill, so that way it doesn't get all scratched up like these side pieces are, but I guess at the end of the day, it's a truck, so things are going to get kind of scratched. My whole truck is covered in paint protection film, so I don't really care about external scratches or anything like that. Here we are coming back to the bed. So here we have a Plano, I think they call it a Sportsman tub. Got it at Cabela's. It was like $40, something like that. I'll put a link down below as well. But I just have some stuff that is not temperature sensitive. I don't need to use that often, but I do still want to have in the truck. So like I have a jack, some tools, some cones, some additional charging adapters, things like that that just live in there. There are probably better options, but definitely not better options for $40 that keep it out of here. It's not fully weather tight or anything like that, but between having the tonneau cover closed and then having this just be covered, generally that's adequate, especially since I'm mostly just trying to keep water out when I go through touchless car washes, since it does get moist in here, but not wet. Here I made a video all about these as well, but there is the mount for my crossbars, and I have them just in my apartment right now, but I'm actually giving away a set of these. So these allow you to mount your crossbars just in the bed for storage. And if you go to my Twitter, which will also be linked in the description, giving away a set of those, $70 value. All you have to do is like the tweet, retweet the tweet, and be a subscriber here on YouTube. So definitely go enter that if you have a Rivian R1T. Coming back here. So these are from a company called Rivian, you can see there. And these are jack point adapters. So if you're familiar with Rivians, you'll know that lifting it up is not like most other vehicles, similar to Tesla's to some extent, but actually more important than on Tesla's, because on a Rivian, you either have to have a proper adapter for jacking the car or the truck. A little bit hard to see with the running boards on, since I took those panels off, or you actually have to remove the panels. So definitely recommend these. These seem to be the least expensive option, and realistically, you're probably not going to use them that often anyway. So like peak quality is probably not the biggest concern, but they're solid metal. I have no real reason to be concerned with their quality. And they come in this nice little case. So good to have with you, especially if you road trip a lot. That way you can use an actual jack if you need to put on a spare, or if you end up at a random tire shop in the middle of nowhere for whatever reason. That way you're prepared and your vehicle can be lifted properly without having to remove panels. So definitely a big fan of that. Here we have a case from a company called Electron. They make charging adapters. Some of these are not necessarily relevant to Rivian, but this one definitely is. So this takes a Tesla wall connector or mobile connector, not a Tesla supercharger, just to be clear, and allows you to charge your Rivian with it by using a Tesla to J1772 adapter, which is very handy. Here we have the reverse, so J1772 to Tesla. And if you use these two in combination, you can actually also use Electron's Tesla extension cable. They have a J1772 extension cable as well, but I think it doesn't look as nice, though I think it is cheaper if I remember correctly. But again, links down below. If you get this adapter, this is the 48 amp version. I recommend getting the white one for a little bit more heat resistance if you're charging outside. That way it's just a little bit more reflective. And this case, it comes with the extension cable. So you're not gonna get this case with the other products, unfortunately, but just wanted to show that there. And coming around to the passenger side here, you can tell it's quite humid by the amount of the puddle there. And here we have microfiber cloths from Costco. If you're in the detailing world at all or care about a clean car, you definitely should be aware of these. I think these are $17 now at this point. And these are some of the best microfibers, maybe not best, but definitely best value. And here we have CarPro Inside. This is what I use to clean the interior. So seats, dash, things like that. You just put a little bit of this on one of those microfibers, maybe agitate it a little bit with a brush like this. And then you can just wipe it off, and it's nice and clean, good scent, kind of a citrusy smell. And this also has some enzymes in it, so it can help work with body oils, things like that, to break that down and clean your car. This is 303 aerospace protectant. So I use this on the tires and on the plastics. So I treat them somewhat regularly. And what this does is it gives you some UV protection. So I've been using this for many, many years back when I had convertibles. And this is what I would put on the convertible top. So just make sure the surface is nice and clean first, and then just spray it on a microfiber, wipe it on, and just let it absorb in. So I have it on my tires here, as you can tell. So it gives it a nice, just black finish without being overly obnoxiously glossy or anything like that. This is one of my favorites, Bug Off. It's not actually from Chemical Guys, but this is just a secondary bottle that I bought for applying it. And I use this before I go into a touchless car wash after a road trip. So I just sprayed on the entire front end. So basically here, and then also on the edge of the hood, down below, down here as well, and on the mirrors, the A-pillars, and sometimes the windshield, just depending on how it is, as well as above the windshield. And then let it sit for about a minute or two. You don't want to let it sit too long, or it's not great for your paint or paint protection film. But it helps get the bugs off much easier than if you were to just go through the car wash. This is another staple of the detailing industry. This is Sprayway glass cleaner. This stuff is just awesome. You can buy it online, but realistically you should buy it at Walmart, Target, wherever, because it doesn't really make sense to ship. This is $3-ish per bottle, and this stuff is just the best glass cleaner you can buy. And then holding all those detailing supplies is another one of those folding bins from Costco. So stays in there pretty well. Not easy to get in and out, unfortunately, but it works. and then all my detailing supplies just live right in there. Well, hopefully you guys found this video helpful, showing some of the accessories that I use in my Rivian pretty much every day. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you're interested in any of these products, definitely use the links down below. And I'd love to hear what you guys think. If you have any thoughts, if you have any products that you recommend, definitely comment down below. Or if you even just have some feedback on some of the things I included, or maybe better versions of similar products, again, comment down below. Love to hear what you guys think. Many of you guys are Rivian owners as well, so you have feedback that's just as valuable as mine. See you guys on the next one.